Hello and welcome to the Lake Cumberland District Health Department new series, Teach Me, Love Me, Care for Me. I'm your host, Amy DeCesare. During the course of our program, we will be talking with a family that has a child somewhere in the age range of your child. We'll be getting an inside look at these families' experiences in raising their children, the challenges they face, what they are learning firsthand, and how they will continue to grow and develop as a family. In each segment, we'll provide information which will help you learn more about nutrition, exercise, and nurturing, and what is specifically needed for the overall development of your child for their particular age group. In the 1-year-old category, you'll meet Jimmy, Katie, and Olivia. Jimmy and Katie have gone through some dramatic personal changes in their lives, and they can already see the impact this is having on Olivia and her sister, Maddie.
There are obviously a lot of things that change when you go through a significant period of weight loss. I've lost 134 pounds to date, and that's changed a lot for me. I mean, at the size that I was before, not really caring about nutrition and getting to that position, that affected my decisions. And really the biggest concern for me was sometimes, not how healthy is this place for me to go and eat, but will I be comfortable in the seating arrangements that they have because of my size? And while, as sad as that is, what's even sadder is passing that on as a birthright or legacy to my children. And I don't want to do that. I'm not going to do that. And so, we just realized we had to make a change.
Yeah, I think for Olivia, her with the healthy lifestyle that we've sort of adopted, I think it's going to help her with her food choices as she gets older. Both of our children are very independent right now on their own, but giving them the confidence to say, I know this is good for me, I know this is something that I also enjoy. I think a lot of times kids are given sugary things because parents might think that they're just going to like them. Well, a lot of times kids do not like those things. They would prefer to have different options, but they're never given those options. So I think, as parents, we need to be aware of that, that we need to give them these different varieties so they can pick what they like. And then they're more confident, when they get into school about making their food choices, bringing their lunch, whatever that may involve.
Nutrition. The habits you begin at this very early age are habits which can last for a lifetime. Your child's first birthday brings you into a phase in their life that's both challenging and rewarding when it comes to feeding time. And now, with more information on this very important aspect of your child's development, here's Melinda Osborne, nutritionist with the Lake Cumberland District Health Department.
By now, your child should be weaned from the bottle. If not, they could develop problems like ear infections, tooth decay, excess weight gain, poor eating habits, and low iron. You may notice your child eating less. The decrease in appetite is due to slower growth. Keep a variety of healthy foods on hand for your child and for you. It's best to teach by example. Studies have shown that children's consumption is related to the parents' intake and attitudes about food. Children are more likely to eat new foods when they see a parent eat them. Be cautious when introducing unhealthy foods to your child because they will develop a taste for them and therefore want those unhealthy foods. The number of times parents expose children to new foods influences food choices. Therefore, it's very important that healthy food choices are introduced.
Well, with Olivia, I think we're noticing that she's really starting to develop more of a taste for fruits and vegetables. I think the key with children her age is you have to reintroduce things that perhaps they've pushed away or not wanted, and you see if you come back to it, perhaps they'll like it now. And we're seeing that there are a lot of vegetables and fruits and other healthy foods that she likes. And that's what we're trying to do, try and get her to have a healthy, balanced, nutritious diet so that she'll carry those habits throughout the rest of her life.
And one thing we've noticed too is she's kind of going away from the jar foods now because I think it's a texture thing for her. She's wanting to have new textures, so we're trying to introduce more solid foods. Obviously, we have to make sure they're in smaller bites for her to handle. But she is enjoying that a lot more now than the jar food. We're getting sort of away from that. She still has some jar foods for breakfast. Most of the time she'll do some oatmeal. But most of the time at lunchtime we're doing, the smaller diced vegetables. She likes broccoli and carrots every once in a while, and corn. She likes that. We've tried zucchini, we've tried squash, tomatoes. Again, we just have to make sure that they're cut up in smaller portions for her to handle. For the fruits, she really likes apples, again in the small form. Bananas she is liking. She likes to eat those like her sister does. So she likes to do a lot of things that her older sister likes to try. So we try to offer those to her.
And that's part of the key too, is one of the things that we've learned, at least with our daughter, is that if you empower her in making food decisions, sometimes she'll eat things that she won't take from you on a spoon, but if you hand her the spoon with it on it, she'll be glad to eat it. Exactly. And so letting her take ownership of her own nutrition is something that helps a lot.
Offer small portions and stop when your child is full. And most of all, be patient. They may not accept some foods at first and may not be interested in trying new things. So offer a new food more than once. Experts say it may take 8 to 10 tries before a toddler accepts a new food. It is normal for a toddler to reject a food the first few times it's offered. Eventually, their taste will change and they may accept a food they haven't liked before.
Portion control is an issue that we have been working on with Olivia as far as figuring out how much she needs. For example, at breakfast time, we try to do some cereal like Cheerios or something small that she can pick up. And again, she is also interested still in the oatmeal, so we try to do a jar of baby food. And then, of course, milk, whole milk, make sure that she has that. And with lunch and snack time and dinner time, again, it's just she is very good about telling us when she is full. She'll turn her head away when she's done, or she'll say all done. That's usually what she'll let us know as far as that's concerned. So we don't really have that much of an issue there with that.
Yeah, well, I think that part of it too is, put a normal amount of food or a reasonable amount of food in front of them and let them eat that, and then decide where you're at from there. Because, if you put a ton of food out in front of them and then say, well, I can't believe that they ate that much. Well, they probably ate it because it was sitting there. And when we're all like that, grown-ups are like that too. And so we need to apply some of the same principles. I think that's what we're trying to do with Olivia, is apply some of the same principles that we do with ourselves.
You can also offer liquids from a cup, like 4 ounces or less per day of juice. Keep in mind that offering too many liquids may lead to poor eating habits. And when you reward your child for good behavior, don't use food. Use praise or hugs. Using food can lead to excess weight gain. You can also plan snack time using a variety of fruits and vegetables. A simple fruit smoothie is a good snack, but whatever you feed your child, make sure you watch them closely during both meals and snacks. Since chewing and swallowing is relatively new to them, your child is at risk for choking and will continue to be until they begin to chew and swallow better. To begin with, your child will need 5 to 6 small meals per day to meet their needs. Let them begin to use a spoon to become accustomed to using utensils. Be careful and be safe, but understand you are beginning to develop some important nutritional habits which will last a lifetime.
Thanks, Melinda. Melinda tells us if this is your first child, this is a great time to establish family mealtime. If you have other children, it's the perfect opportunity to bring everyone to the table to create the traditional family mealtime. Family mealtime will also help your child develop their social skills as well as healthier eating habits. Mealtime should be pleasant, so avoid discussing stressful subjects at the family table. Of course, this practice not only creates a healthier mealtime for your child, but for everyone else at the table. When we return, get ready to get up from the table and get ready to exercise. The sound of a child laughing and having fun is one of the most joyful sounds you will ever hear. And the time you spend watching them discover new things is one of the most rewarding times you'll spend in life. So take just a few minutes several times a day to play with your child. For more information on exercise and the development of your 1-year-old, here is Jackie Hodges, personal trainer and health educator at the Lake Cumberland District Health Department.
At this point in their life, everything is new and interesting, and taking the time to help them explore and discover will lay the groundwork for your child to lead an active lifestyle down the road. Just like teaching them to eat healthy foods now, teaching them to stay active is another great healthy habit to develop at this early stage. What's better, playing with your child on a daily basis will also help keep you active and help you develop the energy you'll need to keep up with your growing toddler. It's especially important to make sure you have an area set aside so you can play safely and set aside enough time to enjoy yourselves. You'll thank yourself for it later on in life, and your child will appreciate it too. You may be wondering what types of games are appropriate for a toddler. Well, start out with some of the old standards such as head, shoulders, knees, and toes. This exercise helps develop physical coordination and balance. Up and down is a good activity to help your child learn different levels such as standing up, lying down, sitting up, crouching down, and so forth. The same thing applies to over and under. Using various types of equipment like ropes, poles, hoops, and other appropriate items, you can teach your child to walk, run, climb, and jump over and under things. Just be careful.
Thanks, Jackie. Folks, there's a complete list of other activities you can try in your TLC Tips Playtime section. Mix up your activities to keep things interesting and fun in this age of your child's overall development. Eating and exercise are important, but that last missing ingredient is nurturing. When we return, more information for how you nurture your child and help them feel safe and secure in their home environment. Though playtime is extremely important to help you develop a bond with your baby, as well as helping develop physically, time taken to nurture your baby is even more important. As we have said before, no matter what our age, safety and security are important aspects of how we feel, and the environment you create for your child is no different. With more information, here's Jackie Hodges from the Lake Cumberland District Health Department.
Making your child feel safe, secure, and loved is one of the most important things a parent can do for your child. Positive reinforcement, lots of hugs, kisses, and praise will keep your child happy and make them healthier in every respect. Along with the usual snuggles and hugs, there are some activities to help in the nurturing of your child, such as a game called Dolly Has Emotion Too. It's a simple game you can use to teach your child words that express feelings and to use those words to express their own feelings. Copycat is also a good game to play that imitates what one does. As a parent, we should be mindful that children learn from watching their parents, and your actions guide their behaviors. Therefore, being a good role model is very important.
Well, usually at night we sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes we will do a bath and then, brush her teeth, put her pajamas on. That way once she's got her pajamas on, she knows that it's getting close to time for bed. We're not, yes, a lot of times we'll read her a story, something to just calm her down, that it's giving her cues that she knows that it's getting close to bedtime. We don't do a whole lot of running around, things like that.
Yeah, it's all about slowing the pace down. I mean, when you're that age and you're that wound up, the biggest thing I think for them, the key that it's bedtime, is we always say a prayer before bed. And so when we do that, they realize, well, it's time to lay it down. And sometimes it's become such a part of their routine, and whether you do that or it's something else that you do, that they will be fighting the concept of going to bed, but once we do that, they just relax to the whole process. And they go down without a fight because they realize bed is what follows this, and so it's, again, become part of their routine.
Although your child is needing less and less sleep as they grow, they still need more than an adult. Your child will need to sleep 13 to 14 hours a day, including a couple of 1-hour naps during the day. And yes, these times of rest are almost as important for the parent to have time to relax and recharge as it is for the child to get the necessary amount of rest.
I think the way that they know that we love them and that we know they love us, yeah, is the love that Jimmy and I show to each other. I think that brings them comfort as well. The fact that we are in a strong marriage, and that's something that we are continuously working on. We are able to model that behavior for them. Olivia comes up to me constantly and gives me hugs. She smiles at me. We cuddle a lot, and that's how I know that she loves me, is because she comes to me a lot of times and does those things with me. And I think that's just so important for not only Olivia and I to have that interaction, but also for Jimmy and I and Maddie and I to have that interaction. We're all modeling these behaviors for Olivia as well. I think that's important.
Well, and for what it's worth, the way that I know that Olivia loves her mama is because ever since she's learned to talk, she uses that as an all-purpose word.
Oh yeah.
Mama's not just a noun, it's an adjective or a verb. If she is wanting something and can't reach it, she'll point to it and say, mama. Or if she's hugging somebody, and she'll be like, oh, mama. And you know that comes from having that closeness with her mother and the love that they have between one another, because when she thinks happy thoughts, the word that comes out of her mouth is mama.
It's always good to remember that throughout childhood, bedtime is a perfect time to do a little extra nurturing. Cuddling, hugging, and singing will help your child feel safe and secure as they settle down to a full night's sleep. We hope you've enjoyed this edition of our program. We also hope that this series is helping to make your first year with your child easier and more rewarding. As a working mother, I understand how challenging raising a child can be, and it's our aim to share ways to help you make the best of your child's early years, as by their actions they say, "Teach me, love me, care for me." Our thanks to Jimmy, Katie, and Olivia for letting us visit them in their home, and our thanks to you for watching the program to learn more about how you can help your baby during this phase of their growth and development. For more information, be sure and refer to all of the materials on nutrition, exercise, and nurturing provided in your kit by the Lake Cumberland District Health Department. We'll see you again soon in our next edition of Teach Me, Love Me, Care for Me.